Hey everyone, Creature Hunt Guy here, coming at you with another Transformers review. So, we all love the mini-bots, right? Yeah, sure, that's a given. At least for some of us, most of us, maybe a few of us, I don't know. But, did you know that there were also many Decepticons? Most of them were actually probably Gestalt parts, but others were just kind of little guys that really didn't have anything to do with anything, and they were a little crummy and kind of just stupid, but, you know, that's why we like them, right? So what would you call a mini Decepticon? Got mini bots and mini cons? Too late, already taken. Now, of course, there weren't as many mini Decepticons as there were mini bots, but there were still a few, and one of those very important ones were the Fire Cons, who were little gimmick-laden guys that would roll their wheels and then make little sparks fly or something like that. There were Autobot counterparts as well, but the Decepticon ones were, in my opinion, cooler because some of them were these little monster things. Case in point, Cindersaur. Yes, this guy is a little creepy thing that I'm not really sure what it is. He's one of the 3 Fire Cons, and I think there were more that were cars, but these are the 3 monster Fire Cons. The others being Spark Stalker and Flame Feather. I picked Cindersaur though because he is quite the coolest one of them all, in my opinion, because, well, his colors aren't too offending, and his face does look kind of cool. So let's check this little guy out. So I'm starting off with his alt mode, or I guess you could call it an alt mode. I'm not really sure what the purpose of having an alt mode as a monster thing. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of robots in disguise, you know. But yeah, I'm starting off with alt mode this time, and because in my opinion it's probably his strongest point, robot mode being like an afterthought, but we'll get to that in a second. So here's his little wheel on his belly, and I'm not sure how you're supposed to be able to actually make him roll on it, but this is probably about as good as it gets. Whee! So as you can see, the flame gimmick doesn't really work anymore, but it is still cool because it rolls around and stuff. So yeah, cool parts on this guy. Well, the head for one thing. It's not sure what it is. It's got a horn kind of facing downwards here. The purple and yellow actually surprisingly work together. I do like it, and it's just so late 80s. It's so, you know, out there and crazy, but it kind of works. Strange thing though is that it has no "we're up" sign. Of course, I guess by this time they'd already given that up. I don't know, maybe you can tell me. But yeah, so no rub sign, but that's okay. Movable parts on this guy? The arms. The arms move and the legs move a little. They're little stubby little things as well, as you can see. But a nice Decepticon insignia on there as well, so that's cool. Yeah. Then he's got a little silver eye, and these strange spikes on here, which very shamelessly cover up the robot head in there. And then this big yellow dinosaur tail. So like I said, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but it's cool, I think. So like I said, this is probably his strongest alt mode, being as the other one just really feels like an afterthought. But they had to have something, do something to constitute it as a transformer, so it does kind of transform, but not really. It's more like a repositioning of his parts. But I'll show you the alt mode, the robot mode anyway, just because. The transformation, as expected, is actually quite easy, and it's kind of hilarious how it basically his other mode ends up just kind of tucked away back here. You know, just leave it; it'll be fine. And what we're left with is possibly the most tubbiest Decepticon in the world. Look at that. Look at him with his little skinny legs and big, huge, fat, tubby body and little itty-bitty little arms that don't move in and out. That only move in and out, but don't move like up and down. You can only do this, which is part of the transformation, so you don't want to do that. So you just leave him like that, and so he literally cannot put his arms down because he's so fat. The little robot mug is quite quite hilarious too, and stuffed in there amongst all the yellow fat. But it works pretty well, I guess. I mean, it's a robot head, you know. It's better than nothing, I suppose. But I think the funniest part of this guy is his little big yellow tail that just sticks out there like a giant banana or something. but it is actually quite handy when showing it to a camera, so, you know, that's good, right? But in all seriousness, I really do quite love this guy. I don't know why exactly, but I do have a thing for these little guys. I don't know why, like I said. But it's like, you know, when you get a G1 figure, it's like really overpriced and it's not quite worth it. But when you get a little guy, you know it's going to be a piece of junk. But it's still G1 and it's still old looking, so that's reason enough to get it. So I say, yeah, go for Cindersaur. Why not? Because if you don't like the mini Decepticons, then you're an idiot. Or not. I'm not opinionated, am I? But yeah, I say I recommend him if you like the mini bots or any little Decepticon, or if you're just a fan of G1, then you definitely want to get this guy because he's a prime example of just how far G1 was willing to go. I'm Creature Hunt Guy, this is Cindersaur, and I'll see you later.